Hey everybody, I'm APH. Welcome back to Timberborn. Now it's kind of been a few days since I've recorded, as over the weekend I had a little bit of a rougher voice than I wanted to record with. And then when I went to record today, my save file was corrupted, so I had to roll back a little bit. So getting caught up, there will be some minute changes between where we left off and where we currently are. But taking a look, the reservoir, or the aqueduct that is coming together. This area looks real good. And over here, you're going to notice some slight differences. First off, instead of doing two lumber mills right next to each other, two gear workers, I actually put a storage underneath and specified the one for gears, the other for logs. And then you'll see the foresters ready. And then up here, where we had the issue with our actual reservoir leaking, I fixed all of the dents and dings. So that should be all taken care of. Now, there are a few things that actually have to get caught up, like this actual high power shaft needs to get connected, and this should divert power up to the upper deck where we placed our bread last time. And what that will allow is it will allow us to pipe power over here, and in times of drought, the power should actually divert down, which is kind of a good thing. Time to knock down the next layer of this actual section, so let's go ahead and detonate those. And this is going to be the big one where we set up explosives for this whole entire area kind of going forward. So let's go ahead and get that queued up really quick. And I do think I want to bring it down so it's flat. So it's going to get knocked down twice in total, just to kind of open it up. And then in this episode, I'm thinking that it's time that we proceed up to where the waterfall is up here. So that in the future, when we connect this reservoir over here, we can actually raise this whole entire area up to this level. So just kind of going forward, I'm thinking right here kind of looks good. And what we're going to do is something about like this, where we just take a stairway up and then place our path. And then we take our next stairway up and just kind of do like a little box design. Relatively, it works. So let's go ahead and close that. And then we can put our two platforms here and do the same thing up to that last level. Excellent. Now, I've done some testing over the weekend with the actual other faction. I gotta tell you, they're quite a bit more interesting and a little bit more my play style. So at some point in time, we might switch over from this series over to the other faction. Now, I do want to collect all these trees out, so let's go ahead and get ourselves a lumberjack here. And we'll go ahead and just set this up to clear. And what we're going to want to do is, I believe the height that we want to be at is the height of this right here. So we're going to place something in here, just kind of probably a dam or a reservoir up top, just to kind of get moving, and then we'll bring it down below. And as we bring this reservoir, the aqueduct, over, we're going to be moving a ton of this stuff, and that was part of getting this down here going. So we do have, yeah, we've got 6 people down here, so not enough to actually employ everybody yet. Yeah, it needs power to operate, which is fine, and needs gears. And so this won't happen until the drought is over, which at that point in time, hopefully we'll have enough people to maintain that. And then once everything's connected, hopefully this will take care of that. And we might send an actual gear over, but what you're also going to see is the drop-off. I only have one of them. And what I figured out between episodes is you can actually send the distribution center, you can send it multiple things to one drop-off. So to the person who private messaged me and told me that, thank you. You know who you are. This area is slowly coming along, and I'm thinking this area really needs a farm. We've got the building for the grill here. So let's place a road connecting these two, so it's all connected, and our dam over here is completed. So let's go ahead and get rid of this dam, so that water can kind of spread a little further. So that should get it up to there. And then these right here, we're going to want to go ahead and get rid of. Excellent. And we're going to place first just one farmhouse over here, as we don't really have enough people yet. And then we're going to go ahead with potatoes first, as that's what we have set up for. Yeah, probably something like this. And what we're going to do right off the bat is place a beehive kind of right here, just kind of to get going. And something that I've been seeing is people are planting trees in the water. And I want to figure out if I can plant berry bushes down in here. I think that would look really nice, so as you're looking down, you kind of see them. I'm not sure I want trees down there. And then once I figure out if it can or not, which might mean I have to temporarily close it up, place bushes down there, and then kind of go like that. I think from there, we're going to knock this down to the same height as this so that we can actually build some homes over here. All right, let's go ahead and prioritize this little uplet staircase so that we can get going. And let's go ahead and prioritize those. Excellent. Now, the ultimate goal is to place a higher dam right here, kind of setting up, well, probably the same height, but just kind of right here, and then move this dam over here as well, kind of in the long term, so that we can make this area fertile. But what I did figure out between episodes, as the faction has the water tower, the irrigation tower, it is actually easier to irrigate in a different way. So let me find a spot and I can show you. We'll take this spot right here, just because it's within range and I can kind of show you. So let's place a dynamite down real quick. And we'll go ahead and raise that priority list up. And as soon as it builds, I'll show you kind of what we're going to do. Because I think it will take care of some of this issue right here. Granted, once water's going through here, it should be taken care of altogether. But it's going to be a while because we haven't got very far on this. And wood is just becoming a bigger and bigger issue as, you know, going forward, we're just using more and more. Hey, we've got a tree in the wrong spot here. Mr. Pine Tree, why are you growing there? Let's get you switched over. Let's go ahead and clear that out so that when it cuts, hopefully the maples will take over. And the next line of business is I really wanted the actual decor in here of the beaver statue. Let's go ahead and unlock that. Let's place that down. I think those look really sharp. And then for our civilization, I think it's time for an actual monument. And we want one right here in the future, but I think we want one somewhere else. And let's go ahead and look at... Oh man, placing a monument on both sides of this waterfall when it happens will be a thing. And I think right here, placing one on both sides of the waterfall will also be a thing. But I'm thinking as we're coming down the stairs right here. So let's clear out. Actually, this is probably the best idea that we could do. Let's clear out this right here. And prioritize it up. And then we'll unlock the labor monument. And I think we'll put one right there, and maybe we'll build this side up. Yeah, let's do that. Let's build this side up. We'll place the first monument on this side, and then we'll place the second monument on this side over here. See how much it actually... 3,000. So we got a bit of research to go before we can place that one. Yeah, let's, since it only takes logs, which we have some, we'll go ahead and prioritize that so that we can get that built. Because that should take us... Yeah, it should give us the first and then we can look at knowledge next, as this area still needs quite a bit of time to actually get knocked down, as we're in a drought and explosives really won't happen until the drought is over. Granted, I think it just ended. which means this should get started. And taking a look, we still have an opportunity to have some people. Let's go ahead and bring 2 more over. Now let's migrate. Let's bring 4 over. That should get everything, because we've got 3 unemployed over there. And that brings 2 unemployed over here, which means these 2 will pretty much fill in as soon as we get started. Or the farm. Yeah, that's a good idea. And let's go ahead and get these kind of prioritized so we can fix our field, and then we'll prioritize that. There, I think that looks nice. Now, this underground is set up just to have carrots, and going forward, we'll look at doing that as well. Let's go ahead and, let's go ahead and open up the double lodge so that we can get a bigger population over here kind of going forward. And hopefully in a minute, these will get going as water is now starting to flow. Yeah, look at that. Excellent. Now, people are becoming an issue. And I don't have an exorbitant amount of paper, but I kind of have a plan for it. So I'm thinking for right now, let's take out this section right here with the paper, because it can move, and we can probably actually place it down below in the future and then transfer paper over. Let's take out this to get some actual double houses in here so that we can get the extra 18 people. I think that's going to be pretty important going forward. And what we'll do is we'll bring the platforms around so that we get our population. So let's go ahead and grab those. Bring them over. Bring this over. Yeah, we probably don't need it all the way over to the edge, and then we'll place in our actual double lodge. Place some roofs on the top. And lastly, let's go ahead and grab our actual path in there. Full storage. Now, I'd like to figure out something to do with the grill, as I'm not sure that I actually like it. Maybe part of it is we move the inventors around. Maybe move the inventors down here as population gets going and place the grills kind of in this area. You know what? I talked myself into that. Let's get rid of these 2. And then we'll move this grill in the future, but for now, let's build 2 more grills right here. That'll be the first part of the change, and then we'll move these 2 later on. I'm going to keep a little bit of research coming in during that time, and up here is getting cleared. Let's go ahead and mark for demo all of these trees so that they get cleared out so that we're not actually growing any. And I'm trying to figure out what to do up top, as I'm not sure whether I want houses up there or farms up there. And look at this. This is ready for us to detonate. Okay, so if you take a water dump, place it there. Let's go ahead and bring this up. What you're going to see is this is going to fertilize, it's going to irrigate a lot of this property without the need for a lot of different things. Yeah, look. 10 logs, 10 planks versus, I guess the irrigation, is 15 logs, 20 planks in comparison. And the area that the water dump does is actually bigger than the irrigation. So I'm hoping at some point in time they nerf or change the water dump as it's ready to go, and we'll see what it does tomorrow. Now, granted, going up, it actually does a little less, just like the the effects of this, you can kind of see it's greatly reduced versus like over here where it's a huge area. And you'll see the same thing with this, but you'll see kind of the effect. Yeah, look at that. Versus this is the area that the actual irrigation. So you can see this actually does more. And won't necessarily leave that there permanently. Just kind of wanted to show you guys something unique that can happen. And now I'm actually going to have to fix this in the future, but that's okay. But I was thinking we could utilize that up here going forward. And probably what will happen is we'll bring probably this cliff down to this height. So it's kind of one plateau. It's kind of the future planning of what I want to do. Just kind of trying to figure out how to do it. Just kind of a catch up of over the weekend, as I said, kind of was a little bit of a setback. This is going to be a shorter episode as it's just been kind of an interesting weekend and an interesting day. I'd like to thank you guys for joining. When we come back in the next episode, we're going to be knocking down this hill one more time, and we're going to be probably placing another food over here of some sort, probably carrots over here, just to kind of get this going, as well as, oh, look at that, that's all connected, is getting to a point where we can put our carousel up here and our monument. Oh, look at that, isn't that majestic? I gotta tell you, I'm liking that. And now what I'm thinking we're gonna do is place the next monument here, which means we'll have to do something like this and knock this down to actual size to make it to where it matches. Because I think, looking at them, I think the monuments are the same. Same base, that is. So again, thank you guys for joining, and we will see you in the next episode.